Okay, super excited to kick off our first training for our diamond retreat with my good friend Jen. And for those of you guys that don't know Jen, I'm gonna do my best here. Like, this is off memory, so so Jen and I kind of connected a couple years ago because Jen was also a teacher. She's now retired. She just had a baby, whose baby also, he is like Boss Baby's twin. You should just start putting that on your accolades. Like, when people ask you, my son looks like Boss Baby. 3-time elite.
Yes.
3-time elite, 7-star slaying. What are you ranked right now currently? It's
27.
Holy shit. Okay, so I'm going to mute us and you take it away, girl. Thank you so much.
Oh, girl, I'm super pumped. So,
okay,
great.
Stuff's happening on. Perfect. Yay, go ahead.
Awesome. Okay, guys. So at first when I sat down, like Rachel asked me to do this, I started writing down all these notes and then I threw it in the trash. I was like, no, we're not going to do this. Like, we're going to have a conversation because I'm a retired teacher and I cannot help myself. So first of all, congratulations for being on a leadership retreat. Like, I need you guys to know, when you hit diamond rank, like, it is a big deal. Like, it's a huge deal. And I need you to understand that, like, you're in the top, like, probably not even 10% of the company. It's probably more like 7 or 8% of the company. So you're a really big deal. So to be on a retreat like this is a massive deal. And I hope you're like exploding it all over social media. And I hope you're not just talking about how much fun it is with your besties, but I hope you're talking about what a freaking badass you are for earning the spot on the trip. Because here's the thing, diamond was like the biggest thing I ever wanted to accomplish in my business when I first started. How many of you ever felt that way? And I'm just gonna, you guys can interact, like, you don't have to, I'm like an interactive person when I talk. Sandy from Beachbody yells at me all the time because I'm old. This, but I can't help it. So how many of you guys are currently ranked a diamond coach? Like, that's your rank, diamond. Okay, how many of you are 1-star? 2-star? 3-star above, 3-star and above? Any 5 stars? And Rachel, you're 7-star,
yep.
right?
Yep.
Okay, twinning. Okay, so when I was working towards diamond in the very beginning of my business, first of all, I was like one of the only people, guys, I live in Mississippi. There are like maybe 5 coaches in Mississippi, and like, I don't know who they are other than my upline and me. So it's kind of funny because I was serious. I remember telling my husband, I was like, I'm Emerald, and honestly, I'm the only coach around here. No one knows what like anything means, so I'm good with being an Emerald like forever. Like, I am the shit because I am an Emerald coach. Like, that attitude though is what got me to the next level. Like, how many of you guys when you were at Emerald were just like, oh, I'm just an Emerald coach. Like, I'm only Emerald. I feel like so many now, like the way Beachbody, and guys, this was 4 years ago when I started, but I feel like the way a lot of Beachbody coaches act is that they're not a leader until they're diamond. Like, I thought I was the freaking shit as an Emerald coach because I was like, somebody around here, Emerald, that's me, chick. Like, everybody's working with me. And so I really thought that I was the absolute bomb.com. And imagine if all of our Emerald coaches felt that way when they achieved Emerald. And it wasn't my upline's recognition that made me feel that way. I just felt that way about it. I was like, oh yeah, baby, Emerald's rank. And I was literally like, I'm going to be an Emerald coach forever. Don't even care about anything else. Like, my dad and my husband obviously have already made me super successful. So that was the attitude I took with that. And so then, of course, like, I wanted to go diamond. And guys, I'm going to be really honest with you. I did not look into the comp plan of this business. I had no clue what I was doing. All that I knew was that I felt like all the cool people were diamond, so I wanted to go diamond. That was my motivation. That's it. I was like, well, all right, it's going Emerald 3 times. So I went diamond maybe in like, I think it was 2 months, because I signed up at the very end of November in 2014, and I was diamond by the end of January. So it was about 2 months. And 4 years ago, it was kind of a big deal to go diamond that fast. Now I feel like people go diamond like that fast and faster all the time. So then I was like, oh yeah, who just went diamond in 2 months? I am the coolest coach on the face of this planet. No one's ever done that before. And clearly they had, but I didn't know. I'm living in my Mississippi world down here. So I thought, I'm number one. I'm the next Melanie. And I messaged Melanie. I'm like, yo, Mel, I went diamond in 2 months. Bam. Like, that's how I felt about it. And I feel like so many people go diamond and they don't have like this excitement about it. Like, oh, I'm just a diamond coach. I just have emeralds. What if you're that excited for your Emerald coaches? What if we treated them like, oh yeah, chick, you're on it now because you are Emerald. Like, go freaking you. And then when they go Diamond, like, oh, you are Diamond. So if you're a Diamond coach right now, like, I need you to understand that that is a big deal. I don't care about, like, guys, I've been doing this for 4 years. I'm not a superstar Diamond. I'm not a 10-star Diamond. I'm 7. And if we're being real, I'm 5 right now. And one of those is my husband. So you do, and one's my second business center. So you do the math. But here's what I want you to understand. Like, to me, I don't care about that. Like, I want to attract leaders like me, but the way my income has grown beyond Diamond is what I really want to talk to you guys about tonight. And that comes with that, like, feisty spirit and attitude. Because I have my moments where I'm like, man, I should be further along. And that is a lie. How many of you have told yourself, I should be further along in my business? I should have more leaders on my team. I actually told Rachel that not long ago. And then I got like a huge gut check, because let me share this with you. And I was actually going to pull up my screen with my income progression to show you guys, but I'm not clearing my cookies right now to log into that. Because if I clear my cookies, then I'm going to have to try to remember my Facebook password, and I don't know it. So I'm not, it wouldn't let me log on.
It's slippery slope. We don't.
Like, I cannot. But anyways, so I wrote it down, like, what I could remember to share with you guys. But just know that, like, I'm so confident in what's beyond Diamond that I was going to pull up my actual income on my online office for you guys. I started this business as side hustle. How many of you are still side hustling it? Okay, how many of you are like full-time coach? Okay, so I side hustled literally until last July. So I haven't even been full-time for a year. So I did, I was a music teacher the first, I'm trying to remember, 2015, 2016, 2017. I got this is probably me recorded, but I don't care. I got a really crappy new principal at the last year. Like, my principal that I had, like, how many of you are teachers? Anybody teacher? I had a bomb principal when I started teaching. Like, he was a, not just principal, like a leader. Like, literally, he could come speak at Summit and I would, like, just pay $1 million to go listen to him. Like, he was a phenomenal leader. I taught, like, in a very rough school, 90% impoverished, like, high rates of, like, behavior, like, very, like, gang filled. You know, I live in Mississippi, so, like, some parts can be very impoverished. We get a lot from, like, the Mississippi Delta that come down here, and, like, they literally, like, have nothing. Like, these kids have nothing. So it's a very rough neighborhood. And we were a D school when I signed up to teach there. And I was like, oh my gosh, what did I just walk into? Because my first day, a little girl spit on me and I went home and cried. So that's my first day of school. This leader, this principal, took that school and it was an A in 2 years. In 2 years. And then this new principal came in and he just didn't care about the kids, like, had no fire and passion. And I was like, I'm out. So the reason I side hustled it for so long was because I truly loved working for that principal. I loved it. He was phenomenal. So thankfully I had been building this up and I was like, bye, Felicia. But then I actually enrolled into graduate school, and I just graduated in last July with my master's degree of educational leadership, because my game plan this year was actually to go be a principal. Isn't that crazy? I make a 6-figure income doing this, but I was going to be a principal anyways. And I still might in a couple years. Who knows? Leadership is just a passion of mine. So, you know, I was glad that I built this side hustle the way it has. And honestly, right now, my vision was always, when I have a baby, I want the option to stay home. That's all I want. I don't want to quit my job. Like, I don't, you know, that's just, I'm kind of like an oddball coach. I enjoy doing both, but I wanted the option to stay home with my babies when that time came. So finished on my master's degree, found out I was pregnant, and it was no question. I was like, oh, that's it, staying home, coach full time now. So here's how my income progression worked through that time. And guys, I need you to understand that I worked my business for an hour to an hour and a half a day until like last July. If I can build a 3-time elite team while doing all of that other stuff, like, grad school's not a joke. Like, I was writing paper. I was doing way more time doing grad school than I was this. And it came with a full-time internship too. So on top of all the classes, on top of all the papers, like, I was interning as an assistant principal all last year in a school 4 days a week. So, like, I'm not sitting here trying to act like I worked on my business like a ton, because I didn't. But here's how the income progression worked. As a diamond coach, and I've always aimed high success club. So, like, my first 2 years, probably Success Club 20 to 30 was like my average. Honestly, my first 3 years, that was probably the average. And I've always hustled for higher Success Club numbers. And I'm also on an inside dead leg. Like, how many of you, are any of you guys on an inside dead leg where your legs are like dead even? Let me tell you what a freaking blessing that is right now. Rachel, you're even, aren't you?
I'm your legs now, but I was on a strong leg originally. So
Gotcha.
Danielle and I were talking about this. I was like, nobody on our team, like that's a blessing for like, but explain it to them.
Yeah, so and it's funny because my coach is Val Bazzo, if you guys know her. Like, she was new to the business. Like, I just ended up there. There is no, like, she didn't plan it. I didn't even freaking know. I thought everyone started off with even legs. So I'm over here, like, just like, oh, look at, I didn't know. So I hear so many coaches are like, I'm on even legs. I don't care because I'm on it. I'm on even legs. So basically, guys, when you get placed in your business, like my whole team has a strong leg because they're in my organization somewhere. So I've never had any volume or anything come from above me. It's my whole organization is me. So like I built it all, and that's something to be proud of. So every single one of you has a strong leg. So you better be hustling on that weak leg and growing of that volume because your cycle bonus can be out of this world when you do that. And this is something a lot of coaches don't understand. You guys probably have heard, you guys know cycle bonus is a 200 to 100 ratio with your strong leg and your weak leg, right? So if you have, like, my husband's account, his strong leg is like 340,000 because he's under me, so he has a strong leg. And his weak leg is like, I don't know, like 3,000 to 4,000. I'm growing his organization right now. The more I build that weak leg, the more cycle bonuses he can have. Does that make sense? So like if your weak leg is like 100, like you're missing out on thousands of dollars, thousands. So you need to focus on growing that weak leg. Anyways, I say all that to say I have had even legs. So my income progression is naturally slower than coaches who are put on a strong leg. And that's just how it is in the business. Like, if I were on a strong leg, oh gosh, my income would probably be doubled what it is now. But I can't, like, I just block that out of my mind because this is what the cards I was dealt, this is what I was given, make the best of it. And honestly, I'm really proud of what I've built all by myself. Like, so that's kind of nice. So when I was a diamond coach, hitting Success Club 20 or higher, every single week, we're gonna talk about Success Club in a second too. I went back and looked, and I was making $200 to $300 a week for like my first year. With a couple like $90 thrown in. I didn't have a high cycle bonus. $200 to $300 a week, a year. How many of you are like in that spot right now where you can bet like you're gonna probably make at least $200 a week? Okay, awesome. So that was me as a diamond coach. Then when I hit 2-star, and the way I did that was I had one working coach that went diamond and my husband to diamond. Once she did that, I was like, that's it, 2-star. When I became a 2-star diamond, I started making about $500 to $600 consistently a week. That's double. Like you see that, right? That's doubled my income. Then when you hit 2-star, you get to open that second business center. So guess what I did? I built that shiz to diamond. And then I started building a team there. So now I started making like $900 a week. And then the cool part about that is as my second business center grew, that $900 a week started getting an extra, like, first it was $28 cycle bonus. Now it makes like, I don't know, it has even legs too. Fun story there. It's on me, but all my working coaches are on the other side, so it's even too. It just cracks me up. So Hubs is the only one with a strong leg. But that's just how it panned out. Did not plan it that way. But my second business center started adding up too. So now I have 2 streams of income. So when you hit, like, opening that second business center is free money. Like, it is legitimately free money. And I need you to understand, I opened my second business center under my husband's weak leg. So like he banks, like he caps out at diamond all the time. Like every other week he makes $1,000. He does nothing. Like I do nothing to his account but make sure it stays diamond. That's it. And so it's not necessarily about like, oh, I want more stars, I want more stars, I want more stars. It's about when you consistently hold your rank and build, like your income grows, like that's where it comes from. So like my husband's account will never drop diamond because I'm not capping out at Emerald at $250. That's losing hundreds of dollars a week, and it's losing thousands of dollars a month, thousands. And I'm just not willing to do that. So I will do whatever it takes to make sure that he's a solid diamond. Same with my second business center. If both of those, if I let them fall to Emerald, they would both cap out at $250 a week. That's like, there's no excuses to me for that when they could each be making anywhere from $600 to $1,000 a week. So I do whatever it takes to fill any spots that I need to. So then when I opened my second business center, I started making like the $900 a week and counting all 3 streams of income from me, my husband, and my second business center. It started to get to that $1,000 a week, $1,200 a week. Now, as a 5-star diamond, with all of my accounts combined, I easily make like $3,000 to $3,500 a week. Can you do the math, guys? That's over $10,000 a month. $10,000 a month. I don't even like. I was a teacher. I make my monthly paycheck every single week. That's insane. And so many coaches. I actually have a friend who makes like about that much. Oh, I just wish I could make more. Are you freaking kidding me? Like, gratitude central over here. I don't care if my income ever grows from that, because like, honestly, it's the easiest money I've ever earned in my whole entire life. And yes, it takes hard work and it takes hustle, but like, it wasn't even that hard to do. I worked way harder at my teaching job than I do at this business. How many of you felt like you worked way harder at your job than you do at this business? If you're being really real with yourself. Because I used to say like, oh, I work so hard and don't go anywhere. No, Jen, you're scrolling Facebook all day and not inviting and doing the vital behavior. It's like,
right.
That used to be me. Hold on, I'm reading this chat. Get on it. It's true. Get on it. Like, I woke up this morning, I didn't even have that good of a week. And I was like, 2,000 this week. Like, that's a low week. Like, okay, I will take that. My husband's a school counselor, and that's his monthly paycheck in 1 week. Like, that's nuts. And so I need you to see beyond the diamond. Like, it's not the end all be all. And it's not about like, oh, I need to have all these like top leaders. Like, of course that's great, but that's not what you need to grow significant income. So it's about up here. It's all up here. If you can just believe and treat yourself like, I'm a freaking diamond. I don't care if you have just 2 emeralds underneath of you. You're a diamond and they're emerald. That's a big deal. And so the next step is start sharing your income growth. Go back. If you're trying to get your emeralds to diamond and star diamond, go show them your income progression. Be like, look, as an emerald coach, I was making this. As a diamond coach, I'm making this. Like, are you ready to go diamond? Show them the potential. People sign up for this business to make money. I don't care who you are. Help people all you want. You're here to make money. So teach these people how to make money. Show them the income progression. One thing I've been doing on team calls is I straight up log into my online office and I pull up my earnings and commissions and I'm like, look how much freaking money I made this week. That's because I grew a team. Like, what are you doing?
Oh my God, that's so good.
It's true. Like, show them. So if you have emerald coaches on your team and you're working towards star diamond and you're wanting to see this, like, show them your progression. Show them the difference between emerald and diamond. So many people are just like, hit diamond, hit diamond, hit diamond, but they don't know why. Like, if you will show them why, you don't have to have like a long speech. Show them your income progression. I guarantee you'll be popping some diamonds because that's what they want. They join this business to make an income. So show them that. So I want to talk to another second about like, Success Club. So how many of you, like, you're committed Success Club 5? Like, you go for Success Club 5, and if you hit Success Club 5, or I should say 6, I'm so like ingrained to say 5. Yeah. If you hit Success Club 6 every single month and like you are solid good with that, like raise your hand. And you can be honest because there's no shame in that. Okay, how many of you are like Success Club 10? Like, Success Club 10 is it. Like, I am good. If I see 10 on the board, I am good. Like, that's it. Like, you have 10 points. Okay, how many of you go for 20? Like, that's your goal. Awesome. How many of you go for 30? Anybody go for higher than that? Yeah. I'm going to challenge you guys because one thing I've learned, and this is something about myself, I, for some reason, and this has been like a huge growth thing for me this year, I have always treated my challenge group recruiting different than my coach recruiting. I don't know why. I've always done that. I'm like, oh, these are my customers and these are my coaches. But this month I made the shift to like pouring into my challenge groups. How many of you get lazy with your challenge groups? Tell the truth, because I have. Like, I literally went into straight schedule a post mode and make my assistant check in with them. Like, straight up went into it. This month I challenged myself to run my own group, and I'm like obviously super accountable to it because I'm the only one running it. I don't have help with it. And I guarantee you I'm about to recruit 10 coaches from it. And it's because like I'm giving them all my attention, because I think sometimes when we get to this level of leadership, diamond and above, we start thinking, oh, I need to just focus on the people who want to coach. But guys, your challengers are there. And if you're bringing in, like, if you're hitting high Success Club numbers, there needs to be a high conversion rate. Like, if you're signing up 10 challengers a month, why are they not all 10 becoming coaches? Or why are not at least 5 of them becoming a working coach on your team? And that was a huge gut check for me over this past year. And I was like, wow, I have let so many people fall through the cracks. I could be superstar diamond right now if I would have poured in and invested in my challenge groups. Like, and it's such an excuse, because how hard is it for me to sit down on Sunday night and schedule some Facebook posts and check in once a day for like 5 minutes? It's not. Huge gut check. Like, your time is not wasted. And I'm no longer going to outsource my challenge group, because I run one a month. Like, it's not hard. I start at the 3rd week of the month. I run it. And if people who sign up late, like, add to it, that's fine. So that was for me personally a big gut check. So I made a list of like my rockin' challengers, and I'm like tagging them on Insta stories, and 5 of them have already converted to working coaches on my team. 5. Like my goal this month was 10.
That's awesome.
Well, and it's something that like it's been right in front of me this whole time. So like I just want you guys to know like I'm always learning and growing too. And this was a big kick in the gut for me. I was like, crap, like why am I not really investing in these people and building relationships and telling them like, you are going to coach on my team. Here's the enrollment. It's free because you bought a challenge pack. Like enroll and I'm going to get you on my coach training because you need to do this. Like that confident. And they're like, okay, like I'm literally just going all in with it. So the next thing I want to talk to you guys about is pushing your success club. So one thing that's been working for me, I make a list at the beginning of every month. I'll show it to you. Hold on. I have it right here. I think it's right here. I have made a list. I actually need to fill in this last spot. I made a list at the beginning of April, and I listed 20 challenge group spots and 10 coach spots, and they were blank when I started. And every single person I've talked to is like, I'm having such a slow month. I'm having such a slow month. I'm in a funk. How many of you have said that this month? Tell the truth. I've seen so many like top coaches saying it. Guess what? I'm not in a funk because I'm at Success Club 50 right now because I made this list and I've just been inviting to it. Like I didn't even know it was a slow month for anybody because I've just set this list. So I want you to shoot higher. And now I just proved to myself that I can hit Success Club 50 in a slow month. Like I didn't even know. And someone told me that yesterday, one of the top 10 coaches actually, this is just such a slow month. And I was like, really? It's like my best month I've had in a long time. And it's all here. It's because I'm not talking about any of that. So I want to challenge you guys, pick a number way out of your comfort zone. If you normally hit Success Club 20, go for 40. Make your list of 20 people. And I want you to not stop until that list is full. Like do not stop. And that's one thing, like I haven't stopped. I have sent my invites every day. I've done my tracker every day. And now I brought in 20 people into my challenge group that I'm building relationships with. So why wouldn't half of them sign up as coaches with me if I'm putting in the work? So that's been a huge eye opener to me. And I'm actually, after I get off this call, like the goal is to get them their links and get their butts enrolled as coaches on my team. Because somewhere along the way, I think a lot of coaches have lost that your best coaches come from challenge groups. How many of you came from a challenge group? Like how many of you did a challenge group first? Yeah. See, I forget sometimes that I didn't. I was like, I want to make some money, sign me up for this business. So sometimes I think the only people who are going to be great coaches are going to come out from wanting the business. But I want to challenge you guys to really give yourself a gut check. How many of you can honestly say like you're giving your best to your challengers and your customers? How many of you can say that you're treating your customers and coaches completely different and you're not even considering your challengers as coaches? Yeah, like we're letting people fall through the cracks. This was like, I don't even know, it's like I was laying in bed one night and I was like, oh my gosh, like it's me, I'm the problem. I'm losing out on people because I'm passing them off to an assistant, which outsourcing is great, don't get me wrong. I just personally was letting her do all of it. And I don't know who's in my challenge group. I don't know who's showing up. I don't know who's doing what. I'm just letting them roll in there instead of reaching out to them, getting them involved, getting them results, which is like our whole job. And we already know once they get results, they want to coach. We already know that. So why are we letting something so simple fall through the cracks? So if you don't take anything else away from this call tonight, I really want you to evaluate that. And I want to challenge you all to go in your group tonight and look at last month's challengers. Tag them in a chug challenge on Insta stories. Tag them, do a call out post. Go in there, private message every single one of them once a week and be like, hey sis, how's it going this week? How can I help you? What did you do great? Have those conversations with them because now you're invested and they know it. And when you come back to invite them to coaching, it's not going to be out of left field like, oh, this chick's not talked to me this whole time since I signed up. Now she wants me to coach on her team. Like I'm so confident that I'm fixing to recruit so heavily from my challenge group because I have been having fun with them and doing it myself every single day. And I'm not doing like big Zoom workouts or anything. I'm literally just doing simple stuff like tagging them on Instagram and tagging them in the page, like just really simple stuff. Because guess what? If I can get them posting their workouts on Insta stories, what are they doing? They're coaching. So I want you guys to like give yourself a huge gut check on your Success Club numbers and don't just view it as a number. Like think of the people that you're adding to your organization. Like I hit Success Club 50 this month. I should easily sign 10 coaches from that. 10, like at least. So if you're hitting Success Club 20, you should at least be signing 5 coaches from that. But if we're not invested in our challenge groups and we're not putting our focus there, then it's falling through the cracks. And I really think the whole company, like I'm just being real, I know this is probably getting posted somewhere, but I think our whole company is missing that mark. I think everyone right now in the company is so like recruit coach focused. Like my whole freaking Insta feed is I'm looking for 25 aspiring women to join my team as a fitness influencer ads. Like, I don't know if you guys see it, but it's my whole feed from coaches, my whole thing. Like, why aren't they just inviting to their challenge group and getting people results and helping them become coaches? That's how this whole company was founded. And I really think that's what it's shifting back to. And I think the coaches who pay attention to that are going to be the ones that have a successful year. And I know that that probably is the unpopular opinion.
No, Jen, you're totally right. Like, I got chills like when you said that. Like, I think you're 100% right.
And I'm not sitting here saying I'm gonna be a top 10 coach because I don't know, but I am saying that, like, I believe that I know what I'm doing. Like, I know a lot of people say, like, focus, and I'm not saying don't invite to coach sneak peeks and don't focus on recruiting coaches, because you are going to get that way too. I just think our whole company is not paying attention to the getting people results and converting them to coaches. And I think it's such a hidden gem. And that's where all my focus is going for the rest of the year, because we all know how this works. And like, that's how we all got started. That's probably how Rachel built a 7-star diamond. That's how I built a 7-star diamond. All of my successful coaches started in the challenge group. All of them. Jamie Fitzpatrick at Summit last year said 9 of his, I don't know, like 10 diamonds. I don't know how many that he has now, but he said like 9 of his 10 diamonds were challengers first. So I think it's so important as you grow to not get in. Don't make the mistake I made this past year. Like, I'm telling you, I messed up. I effed up huge because I just passed them all off to an assistant. Like, that's great. They're getting what I said they would get, check-ins. They're getting what I said they would get when they signed up with me, but I'm the one losing out because I'm not finding the other gens of the world who may want to do this. And I haven't even invited them. Like, how many of you can honestly say you've invited, like, truly invited all of your challengers to become a coach on your team? I haven't. So, like, I'm guilty too. But imagine if you did. Like, what if you make that shift tonight? Like, where could you be in a month? Where could you be in 6 months? If for the next 6 months, you hardcore invested in your challengers. How many of you have an assistant? Or how many of you just, like, schedule your posts for the week and, like, that's it? Like, I'm calling myself out too, guys. Like, this was like an epiphany when I was planning what to talk about on this call. And I was like, okay, Jen, don't ever complain about your rank because it's your own fault, because you're not reaching the people who have already bought into you. Like, these are people that have already bought into me. They have already trusted me, taken my hand, taken the lead. I'm doing them a disservice. I'm doing myself a disservice, and I'm doing my team a disservice. So that was a major gut check I had for myself. And so what can I take with this $3,000 a week now? Like, I should be able to double that by the end of the year if I'm investing my time in the right places. So, you know, inviting is important. Our tracker is important. But I seriously think the coaches who are focusing on their challengers are gonna be the coaches that come out on the top this year. I really do. I don't think, I just do. I think there's a shift that needs to be made, and I think that's the shift to make, because I hear all too often, I'm stuck, I can't this, I can't that, I can't recruit coaches, but for some reason I don't ever hear I can't find clients. How many of you have ever had a problem signing up somebody and hitting success? Because those are your coaches. Like, and I just think it's important to realize they've already bought in. Capitalize on that. So at the end of the day, like, going beyond diamond is leadership. And this was a huge gut check for me. And I know this is probably not what any of you guys expected to hear about tonight, but I think, like, to go beyond diamond, that's what it takes. Investing in your clients who've already bought into you and turning them into coaches, and believing in yourself enough and your leadership enough to know that they're already there. And that's my alarm to check on my challengers. And I think they're already so I think take advantage of that. And then, you know, think about it. Then, you know, they have family that's asking what they're doing. Boom, you have new emeralds. You know, they're going to have friends asking what they're doing it. Boom, there's your diamonds. And then boom, there's your income growth, because now you're growing your team the authentic way. Honestly, the way I started this business, I don't know where I got away from it. So I want to see you guys, like, end the year at 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10 star diamonds, because you're focusing on the right things. Now, I did not say don't go out and recruit and invite to your sneak peeks. I did not say don't stop advertising for coaching. Like, still do all those things. Just make sure that you're not letting all these people you're already onboarding slip through the cracks because you're just not paying attention, because that's 1,000% me. So I hope that was a little income inspiration for you guys, and I hope it was like a good little training and gut check for you. Hopefully somebody in the room needed to hear it. I know it was a huge gut check for me. I don't even know where the gut check came from. I just, like, woke up one night and I was like, oh my gosh, I'm losing out on so many people. So my calls to action for you, number 1, If you haven't been investing in your challenge groups, do it. And if you outsource, that is fine, but commit to setting an alarm on your phone and going and interacting with those challengers daily and like doing something daily to get them excited. Have them drink some water on Instagram and tag you in their stories. Have them do a move of the day on their stories. Have them do a post-workout picture on Facebook and tag you. Like, do those things. My second call to action, set your number and start setting a higher goal for yourself for Success Club. I call it throwing spaghetti. If you're just throwing spaghetti at the wall and whoever signs up, great. I want you to say like, this month I'm going big and I'm recruiting 20 new challengers and 5 new coaches. Like, that's what I want you to do. Guys, if I can do it, you can do it. And post that list on social media like all the time. On Insta stories, like every single day, I'm like, oh, someone else grabbed their spots. And sometimes I make that shit up and I don't even know if anybody signed up. Oh, Lord. So like, just consistency every day. And I want you to just not stop until that list is full. Like, I don't care if you're working, hustling at midnight on the freaking 31st. Don't give up on yourself, because something I learned from, so my grandma coaches Melanie Mitro, and one thing she always says is, when you end the month, make sure you wake up the next day and say, I couldn't have given it a fingernail more. Like, you did everything that you could to crush a goal, and then there's nothing to be bummed or upset about if you couldn't have given it a fingernail more. So I hope this helps, and I truly believe Melanie wakes up every single day and probably absolutely can't give it a fingernail more.
Yeah, that's for sure.
So I hope this helps, and wherever your income is now, like, track it. Go back and look at what you've created. Go back and look at your growth, and I need you to share that with your team. Show them, like, pull up your income progression and be like, listen, this is what I made as an Emerald coach. Watch and click through. Like, you guys know, share your money with them, because they need to see it. Because a lot of people, like, they don't believe you, but when you have it right there on the Zoom call and say, look, this is what I made as an Emerald coach. Now let's keep clicking through and look at what I started to make as my team grew. Like, what are you doing? Because when they start to see that you grew your income that way, it's going to inspire them to grow their income that way too. They just don't believe they can do it yet because they haven't seen it. So show them. And I was nervous. Like, I was like, oh gosh, can't believe I'm about to like show my commissions to my team. But they need to see it. They need to see that hard work pays off, and that I'm leading by example, and that I'm not full of BS when I tell them to make 6 figures a year. Like, here you go. Like, I'm showing you right now. So I hope this is helpful. Do you guys have any questions or like anything you want me to touch on?
Yeah, I have one time. Okay, because I'll literally forget.
So you're running your boot camps monthly, is that right?
Yes.
Okay, are you requiring Shakeology to like stay in the next one, or how does that work?
So I actually did a spin off of Rachel's idea. I have a virtual gym, but I do a monthly boot camp, and then when they finish that, they go into the virtual gym. So it's like kind of like my community. And that one I do schedule a post in every day, but I'm giving all of my focus to that monthly group. And I started the 3rd Monday. So for May, example, my prep week will start the 13th and my start date will be the 20th. So I take all of those 20 days to fill it, which is plenty of time to like crush a goal. And then I still add people to it though. Like, the guide I use isn't really like day 1, day 2, day 3. It's kind of generic, like Motivation Monday, Tip Tuesday, Recipe Wednesday, that type of thing. So that's how I do it. And I can share that guide with you guys too. Just tweak it, because I talked about being pregnant in some of it.
Well,
and
most
then,
of us are pregnant now, so
Yeah, that's
okay.
another question I want to ask. So half of us are pregnant. Any ideas or advice you would give us, like throughout our pregnancy journey, of something that you didn't think about or that you think you thought of that went well?
so I am my brand has always been built on like being super fit. I joined this company to be super fit, and like that's who I want to attract. So I shared a super fit pregnancy. Like, I shared that I worked out every single, I didn't change much. I actually don't like to market to pregnant women and moms because they're so freaking whiny and I just cannot. So I kept my marketing pretty much the same. And just basically, just be super confident. Like, the way I did it, like but I marketed like how hot I felt as a pregnant person because I got fit before I got pregnant. Like, and how like I didn't feel like a big old beach whale. I was like, I feel freaking awesome. Like, I'm a badass right now. And then I like just talked about how easy labor and delivery was for me because I was in shape. I talked about how like, I would like read, if you read What to Expect When You're Expecting, like pretty much the solution to everything in that book is eat right and exercise. And so like, I would share that all the time. And I'm like, don't tell me what I can and can't do when it says right here, like freaking, what's her name? Heidi, whoever wrote it, said this shit. So like, And I shared a lot, like I would read those books almost as my personal development because I would pull so much content from them. So that was helpful, but I didn't really change my market, and I still don't like try to market to moms. I still feel like I just market to like just people like me, whether they're a mom or not, you know? So, and then a postpartum transformation, like I didn't gain like a ton of weight. I'm not one of those coaches. Like I eat well and exercise because I believe it has a huge effect on like my mental health. I struggled with anxiety for a long time. So like I do eat my Chick-fil-A and pizza, but I'm not one of those coaches who is like advertises. Are you posting this recording on YouTube? Like
no, it'll be on listen. I know what you're gonna say. Oh my God, I know what you're gonna say. It will be private.
Okay, I'm just not one of these, like I know the trend in coaching right now is like eat whatever you want, do this all the time, as long as you love yourself, you're fine, but like that's just not me, and it's not my brand, and I refuse to, like that's just not me, and I'm not gonna change me to like fit in with what's cool right now because like that's just not me. I joined this company because I saw a girl with abs and biceps, and that's what I wanted. So I don't want to attract the other, like I want to attract people like me who wanted the abs after baby. Like that's just me, and that's what I wanted, and so that's who I'm going to attract. Now if that's not you, that's fine, but you need to be true to who you are. Like don't change like what you're passionate about because of what's the other coaches are doing right now. Like I've just noticed a big shift lately in our company where all of a sudden everyone's like eat whatever you want and like do whatever you want, and I just don't believe that. Like that's not how I got the results. That's not how I conquered anxiety. But if that's you, that is fine. Just stay true to who you are and like your message, because that's how you're going to attract the other yous. Like I signed up with Val because I wanted my body to look like hers. Like, I mean, and it wasn't like superficial. That's just what I wanted. I never thought I could be a person with abs and biceps and muscles. And that's what attracted me to the business. And so I want to attract the other Jens of the world. And I know that's what's going to attract them too. Like I want people who feel like they can't do it and then show them they can do it. So be true to you. And with pregnancy, like I didn't care about like my weight gain so much, but I still shared a really fit pregnancy. Like I shared what I ate, and I wasn't like, you know, I can lose weight whenever. Like I'm going to gain 1,000,000 pounds when I'm pregnant because it's fun. I didn't want that. Like I didn't want to have 60 pounds to lose after my baby. I wanted to bounce back quick. Like that's what I wanted. And so I think you just have to be true to you and what you want. Like if you're cool with like a massive weight gain in pregnancy so you can have a great transformation after, like you do that. That was just not me. And so I didn't for a second pretend it was. Like I was like, my doctor told me to gain 28 pounds. That's what I'm gaining because I want to bounce back. Like, and that was just me. So pregnancy, I think you just need to be true to who you are and your mission. Like, what is it that you want to achieve? Did you get fit before pregnancy so that you could be fit after? Like, I think that's important. And if you're one of those that's like, I'm indulgent all the way because you're only pregnant a couple times in your life, like run with that. I think you just need to be you 100%.
For sure. Okay. I have 2 questions. So first question, so you have your like monthly boot camp and then virtual gym. So what if one, you're posting different things in there? Yes.
Yeah. I have the same script I use over and over for the monthly one.
Okay.
Like my monthly one is always just going to be the same. That's why I started filtering. I took that idea from you, started filtering people over there. And then I've just been using like the guides. Like I bought a couple off of Etsy.
Yep. Okay.
So do they go to the other one when they're done?
Yes.
You can't stay.
So you don't let
hey guys, hold on one second. I think my baby's hungry. Do you guys care if I feed him real quick? Hold on.
No. So okay.
He's mad because he's hungry. So give me a second. I'm going to stay on, obviously.
You're totally fine.
Oh, I'm going to see little love muffin. He's super mad right now because he's like, feed me, woman.
Yeah.
I'm coming. She was like, where the heck have you been, Mom? Okay. We're good. Okay.
Go ahead,
Ray.
4 or 5 months?
He's 4 months, almost 5.
Okay, so because then there's no point in people redoing a monthly boot camp because you're going to repeat the information. So they might as well just go in the virtual gym. Perfect. Okay. I love that because then our monthly guides could be the virtual, could be the virtual gym because they're monthly. Okay.
Right.
And then my other question, when you're sharing, your income on your team call. I freaking love that. Do you do that every week? Like you just pull up your Coach Online office and you're like, hey, check out my paycheck?
I actually, like, what I've been doing is a monthly, like, Emerald training.
Okay.
And then, like, the ones who are Emerald, and I'm not, like, I haven't been doing it for very long, but on that Emerald training, I show them, like, the cycle bonus and just explain that to them.
Okay.
And I show them, like, my income progression from Coach to Emerald Coach, and I show them, like, the $14 and how it grew to 28 and how it grew here and here. And I just explain that 2-to-1 ratio, and I explain how they already have a strong leg and like why going Emerald benefits them. And then I do the same thing for Diamond. So I've just been hosting like, and you could do it like on your team call and just be like, this team call is an Emerald training, and like have those.
Yeah. Cool.
It would be beneficial. I can send you the slides that I use. I honestly got the idea from Ashley. I don't know how to say her last name. Feldison. So I got the idea from her, and it's just a quick, like 20 minutes.
Yeah. I've totally done them. I love sharing the income though, because you're right. This is a business. That's why people are going to stick around, is because of the income for sure. So I love that.
And I like it too, because like then they can see like the growth, and I'm like, you could do this way faster than me too. Like I did it kind of slow. Oh my God.
When you're bringing on your challengers, are you bringing them on as challengers or discount coaches? And then what does it look like? I know you're loving on them during that first month and getting them results, but when it gets to the point where you want to get them over to coaching, what does that look like? I mean, is it just like a simple invite, like, hey, have you thought about doing what I do?
Yeah, so what I've been doing like the last couple months is, as far as discount coaches, like I built my entire organization on discount coaches. So I firmly believe in that. Now, like, because my organization is so solid, I do a lot of customers, but if I like need a discount coach somewhere for like rank purposes, then like I'll sign up some discount coaches. So it just kind of depends. But as far as converting them, I just like honestly, like I've just been like, hey, like you're killing it. I know you're loving the program. Like, have you thought about coaching too, and like getting an income doing what you're already doing? So I've been keeping it really simple, and a lot of them are like, hey, yeah, I've thought about it. And so like tonight, I did add them to my sneak peek, which I did an Instagram sneak peek this month for people. I'll let you guys know how it went. It's not like finished all the way yet, so I can't really gauge like how it did. Rachel's following it, so she can look at it, but I invited them all to that. But I've just like tonight, I'm gonna be like, hey, your 30 days is almost up. Let's get you signed up as a coach while it's still free for you. So that's kind of the approach I'm taking tonight. And I'll see how that goes. Look, say hi.
Hi, Brett.
Oh.
Hi, buddy. Oh, look at him smile. Oh.
Yeah. You're so cute. Yeah, hold it up. He's like, hey, give me that other boob, woman.
Have to pay and get away.
Okay. Got it.
Yeah.
But that's pretty much like my approach there. And as far as my invites, like I am not like, I don't know, some of the way I feel like, I don't know, the way I invite people who watch my stories, like my posts, watch my stuff. And I usually just say something like, you know, if it was a coaching post, I'm like, hey, I always use people's names. I'm like, hey, I saw that you liked my post about coaching. Maybe you were just like breezing through and scrolling Instagram, but maybe you're curious about what I do. Here's the handle for my coach info sesh page if you were curious. Like I just keep things real simple. I'm not like a hey girl kind of person, like never have been. I think, and then it kind of helps me build a relationship. And a lot of people really have been like, hey, yeah, I am curious. And they go follow it. And like my challenge group invites, I do the same thing. Like, hey, I saw you were watching my stories. Like maybe you were just like, it's the same thing. I'm like, maybe you were just breezing through Instagram today, but maybe you had goals you wanted to reach. Like, did you want some info? So I've been just keeping it real simple like that. But I kind of like I feel good about that invite just because it kind of addresses the fact that like, it gives me something to talk to them about. Because even if they are like, oh, I was just breezing through and love watching your stories, I'm like, oh my gosh, that's so great. Like, what do you like watching about them? So it still gives me a way to connect. So that's what I've been doing. And I don't send like a billion invites a day. I try to aim for 40, which feels good to me. I tried doing 60 and I was like, I like 40. So that's my number.
Okay.
That
I like that. Yeah.
Cool. Anybody else have questions?
Rachel helped me with inviting this year too, because I was like, I've never invited before. Like normally, like I just wait for people to come to me. It's horrible. I make a lot of connections with people though, and that's kind of how I built my
I
business.
think people like, it's kind of like how people call some stuff like cold messaging. Like I think people call inviting different things. Like inviting can still be connecting and stuff. It's just
Touching, like a touch point with people. And I was like, Rachel, what do you say on Instagram? I don't know how to work this thing. And she
And it's so think the way you word it.
Yeah.
You know, that's the way you word it.
Okay.
So I like that wording, and it's honestly, it's worked well for me. I feel like I have like the numbers to show that it's worked well.
Yeah.
I feel like it's not as ice cold as some of the other stuff that, you know.
I love that.
Thank you
Okay,
so much.
thank you
This was
so much,
so
Jen.
good.
Thank you.
You are amazing. You are hilarious, and I love you to pieces.
Yeah.
Rhett, thank you for coming to hang out, buddy.
Little boss baby.
Oh my
so
God.
cute.
So
Hi, you made little hands. He's just sleepy. Oh, burp for you guys. There you go.
well, thank you, babe. I'll talk to you
Thank
probably
you.
in a little bit.
Bye, guys. Talk to you
All right,
soon.
thank you.
Thanks so much.